aren't static. Not only do they change over time, but the same places can be experienced differently by different groups of people. The Compare Data tool, available here, can help you better understand the dynamic nature of the neighborhoods where you live, work, and play. We see three main ways to use this tool. The first is to compare two indicators side by side. The second is to compare the same indicator at two different time periods. And the third is to compare the same indicator stratified by two different race ethnicities. Let's walk through each scenario with an example. By default, indicator number 1 is the indicator you are currently viewing when you enter the Compare Data tool. Most often, that will be the Healthy Places Index, as it is now. You can change this by selecting the indicator number 1 button, then picking the indicator you want to display instead. Indicator number 2 is the comparison indicator. Let's compare HPI with another index, Callan-Byers screen. That's located in our decision support layers under the Other Indices of Disadvantage category. Once I've selected the Callan-Byers screen 4.0 score layer, it loads in a new map on the right. If you're ever unsure of what the map is showing, check the legend that appears in each corner. You'll notice as you navigate one map, the other moves alongside. This allows for easy comparison between the two maps. What if you wanted to track how an indicator has performed over time? Let's go back to the Compare Data panel and select indicator number 1. I'm interested to see how educational attainment has changed between HPI 2.0 and HPI 3.0. First, I'll pick bachelor's education or higher under the Education Policy Action area. Then I'll use the Select Years of Data dropdown to pick the earlier time period. Now let's go to indicator number 2 and follow the same steps, selecting bachelor's education or higher, but this time I won't change the year of data. It's already the most recent. The map now displays bachelor's education or higher in both panes, but now we're looking at two different years of data. By zooming in, you can start to see the places where educational attainment improved or didn't over time. Lastly, we know that the experience of community conditions in a neighborhood can vary among different groups of people. Why don't we look at educational attainment by race or ethnicity? I'll return to indicator number 1 and set it to the most recent time period. It's 2015 to 2019. Now I'll use the Map by Race Ethnicity dropdown to select a group. In this case, non-Hispanic white. For indicator number 2, I'll choose another group, Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders. By comparing these two maps, we can see stark differences in attainment. Exploring our racially disaggregated indicators is an important way to examine how community conditions are felt across racial and ethnic groups living in the same neighborhood.